Environmental Studies, DPPE and DJPE EE22. Exam-based presentation, year 2021. Good day, students. I am Mrs. Hannelie Saunderson, tutor for Environmental Studies, Year 2, Semester 2. This is an examination-based presentation. Please take note, this presentation includes all 3 examinations, April, August, and November 2021. Start early enough to work out old question papers. Work in groups or in pairs to share ideas. Write neatly and understandably. Concentrate on the presentation to prepare for the exam. And contact the tutor early enough for any content-related queries. Chapter 1, the Namibian Social Groups and Institutions. 1.1.1, Immediate Family. It consists of your parents, siblings, brothers and sisters, and children. A basic family usually consists of 2 married people, usually a man and a woman and their offspring. This is known specifically as a nuclear family and is believed as the oldest type of families in existence. 1.1.2, Extended Family. It is an expansion of the immediate or nuclear family, the parents and the dependent children. 1.1.3, Namibian families. Different roles of family members, how the roles complement each other, how the roles of women and men are changing, what is the subordinate position of women in education and decision making, what is done to improve women's roles in society. Gender roles of families in Namibia. In society, the family is the basic unit of production. Duties are divided between the husband, the wife, and the siblings based on what they can do and what they can achieve in a typical household. Unit 1.4, Social Groups and Social Activities. What is a social group? What is a primary group or a secondary group? List the different social activities. Unit 1.5, Public Services. List the different general public services. Chapter 2, Namibian Culture. Chapter 2.1, Culture. Define culture. How many cultures and traditions can we find in Namibia? Unit 2.3.1, Historical places like Kolmanskop, Luderitz, and Keetmanshoop. Unit 2.3.2, Historical persons. A historical person or figure is a person who has made a history line or made an impact in the history of a country or an event that took place. Examples are Hendrik Witbooi and Sam Nujoma. Unit 2.4, the Namibian Anthem. The name of the anthem is Land of the Brave, and it was composed and written by Achali Doisep. Unit 2.5, the Namibian flag. The Namibian flag is a symbol of struggle for national unity. It has different colors and it symbolizes peace, unity, and loyalty. Unit 2.6, traditional leaders. What are the official functions of a traditional leader? What are the problems they have with decision making? Chapter 3, Namibian infrastructure and communication. Unit 3.1, towns in Namibia. Places in Namibia that is governed by a municipality are called cities, and a town is governed by a town council. There are advantages and disadvantages in towns in Namibia. Unit 3.2, communication. There are different ways to communicate in the regions. Different languages are spoken. 3.3, transport. Different means of transport in Namibia. Roads, public transport, railroad, airports, and harbors. Chapter 4, economic, civic, and geographical features of Namibia. Unit 4.1, entrepreneurship. It is the capacity and willingness to develop, organize, and manage a business venture along with risks in order to make a profit. The most obvious example is to start a new business. Small business. A small business requires skilled management to become successful. It is also made up of components. The differences between entrepreneurs and small business. 4.2, components of a small business. 4.3, the craft and factory products. 4.4, the mining activities. 4.5, the farming activities. Factories and products in Namibia. Namibia imports most of its products from South Africa. Namibia is generally considered as a mining, agricultural, or tourism-based country. However, more factories and their products are on the rise in Namibia. 4.6, Regional Council. Namibia has 13 regions and therefore has 13 regional councils. Different functions of the regional councils, for example, community development and early childhood development, primary health care, etc. 4.7, social services in towns. A pension to senior citizens and equal opportunities for men and women. 4.8, natural landscapes. Namibia is divided into 4 distinct topographical regions, like mountains, the Fish River Canyon, rivers, and the coast. 4.9, weather patterns in Namibia. Spring during September to October, summer during November to March, autumn April to May, and winter June to August. 4.9 Weather patterns in Namibia. Spring during September to October, summer during November to March, autumn during April and May, and winter starting in June to August. 4.10 Vegetation and animal life. Animal life. Namibia has a rich and varied wildlife with more than 140 mammal species and 620 bird species. Vegetation. Namibia can proudly claim fame to being the very first country in the world to include provisions for the protection, conservation, and sustainable utilization of the environment in its constitution. 4.11 Unplanned urbanization. Identified as a health hazard, spreading serious diseases stem from environmental problems such as contaminated water, poor sanitation, smoke, polluted indoor air, exposure to mosquitoes, along with other examples of crowded living conditions. Chapter 5 Health and Nutrition. It explains the health and nutrition issues that one have to deal with in everyday life. 5.1 Attend to different practical ways of precautions when tending to wounds. The most important thing to remember is your own safety. Healthy hygiene habits should be practiced daily. 5.2 Personal cleanliness is important for health and social reasons. Healthy habits is instilled in childhood and often follow children into adulthood. 5.3 Lead a healthy lifestyle to prevent infectious diseases. Make a few changes in your lifestyle which can lead to a healthier lifestyle. 5.4 Say no to people and things. Saying no makes us feeling selfish, guilty, or even embarrassed. We don't want to upset people, or we don't want them to think badly of us. So it's easier to say yes than to deal with our anxiety or other people's reactions. However, there are a lot of benefits to say no. 5.5 How to behave towards people with HIV and AIDS. You need to know all people who are living with HIV and AIDS to help to humanize the disease. 5.6 The skeleton and muscles. What are the functions of the skeleton and what are the functions of the muscles? 5.7 Digestive system. The movement of food through the digestive system. The stomach has 3 mechanical tasks. Number 1, it stores the swallowed food and liquid. Number 2, it mixes the food. And number 3, it empties its contents slowly into the small intestine. 5.8 Main food groups. Number 1 are the grains, also known as carbohydrates. Number 2, vegetables and fruit. Number 3, meat and beans. Number 4, milk. Number 5, oils. 5.9, healthy diet. Healthy eating habits isn't as confusing or as restrictive as many people imagine. Following basic guidelines are what you need to construct a healthy diet. 5.10, obesity. It is a medical condition in which an excessive amount of fat is stored in the body. It is very dangerous to your health. It has been associated with many other illnesses, which is a cause or a trigger for worsening symptoms. Possible factors that might cause a person to be obese. Number 1, genetics. Number 2, certain types of medicine. Number 3, psychological factors. Number 4, certain illnesses like Cushing's disease. Number 5, an endocrine gland disorder. Number 6, environmental factors. And number 7, family lifestyle. Chapter 6, plants. 6.1, living and non-living things. The characteristics of living things. The examples of non-living things like light, water, soil, air, temperature, and minerals. 6.3, trees, bushes, and grass in different regions. 6.3.1, the regions or biomes. The climate of a place influences the types of plants and animals that can live there. Namibia could be divided into a number of regions with climates suitable for the survival of certain plants and animals. These are called biomes. Each part of Namibia includes one or more biomes. There are 5 different biomes in Namibia: the Namib Desert biome, the arid zone, the winter rainfall area, the woodland savanna, and the grassland savanna. 6.4, plants as part of the food chain. The 3 tropic levels are producers, consumers, and decomposers. 6.5, how seeds germinate and spread. To understand how seeds germinate, you need to know where a seed comes from. 6.6, the Welwitschia plant. It is a very special and unique and one-of-a-kind plant. It grows in the Namib Desert and nowhere else on earth. 6.7, external parts and functions of a plant. Plants can reproduce and secure their own survival. Plants consist of 4 basic parts: roots, stem, leaf, and flower. Chapter 7, insects and animals. The role birds and insects play in the food chain. 7.1.1, birds. Seed dissemination, predator, prey, pollination, disease dissemination, birds as part of the human ecosystem. 7.1.2, insects. are everywhere on the earth. It has an absolutely fascinating history. It changes our lives and influences the food chain. Without insects, our lives would be very different. Insects are valuable to the food chain in many ways. 7.1.2 Insects change our lives and influence the food chain. Pollination, feeding, predatory or parasitic, decomposes, and prey. 7.2 Food and other products from farm animals. 7.2.1 Sheep. Meat, dairy, wool, science and medicine, landscape management. 7.2.2 Pigs. Pigs are one of the oldest forms of livestock. Their omnivorous nature enables them to eat human rubbish, keeping settlements clean. Pigs were mostly used for food, but people used their hides for many other products. Products of the pig, the pork and the pork skin. Products of the cattle, meat and dairy products. Byproducts from cattle are the brain, blood, hooves and horns, bones, internal organs, hair, milk, skin, manure and fat. 7.3 Fish. The physical features of fish: the size, body shape, coloration, fins, head, scales, mucus, and feeding habits. 7.3.2 Reptiles. The physical features, the reptile's body, and the feeding habits. 7.4 Features and characteristics of the oryx. The oryx is one of 4 large antelope species of the genus Oryx. The oryx is found in wooded grasslands as well as in wetter grasslands. They have different features and characteristics, and they adapt perfectly in the Kalahari. The reproduction: oryx are polygynous. Their behavior: oryx are gregarious and nomadic in nature. Food habits: they will duck up a meter to find tubers and roots. Predation: threats to the oryx are lions, cheetahs, leopards, and spotted hyenas. Hunting dogs will also attack them. Ecosystem roles: exploit the areas that few other animals can inhabit. They tend not to interact with many other species. Because they are nomadic, they tend not to overgraze areas. 7.5 Prehistoric animals. The Kulasant. 7.6 Birds and mammals. 7.6.1 Reproduction of birds and mammals. Birds, mammals, and internal fertilization. 7.6.2 Taking care of their young. Parental care: birds and mammals look after their young for long periods of time. Precocial, when young are relatively mature and mobile from the moment they are born or hatch. Altricial development, when young cannot move by themselves and do not have any hair or feathers and had to be looked after by their adults. Chapter 8, Science and Geography. 8.1, Characteristics of non-living things. They lack or has stopped displaying the characteristics of growth, reproduction, respiration, metabolism, and movement. 8.2, Suitable materials for particular purposes. Cotton, steel, jute, medicine, and plastic. 8.3, Various components of soil. Soil and water, soil and air, soil acidity, and caring for the soil. 8.4, Characteristics of light. Luminous intensity, translucent, transparent, refraction, composition of light, waves, and the speed of light. 8.5, Characteristics of sound. Pitch. It is the frequency of sound as perceived by the human ear. The tone or quality. It is a pure tone in the sound of only one frequency. Loudness is a physiological sensation. The speed of sound depends upon the density and temperature of the medium. Protect the environment. Because our planet is changing, we need to help it change for the better. A lot of things affect our planet in a bad way, but we can help to reduce it and do our best for improving our environment. The following are important ways in which people can help save the environment: electricity, pollution, food, water, rubbish, rainforest or deforestation. This is the end of the presentation. Please note that this presentation is for both PPDE and JPDE students. There will be a choice question where you should choose only one of the two. If you're not familiar with a certain topic, it will definitely be meant for the other group. In conclusion, students, please contact or SMS me between 18 hours and 2000 hours. Phone number 081 243 6470 or email hanneliesaunderson@gmail.com. Thank you very much for your cooperation and good luck with your studies.